evening, Craig.
Evening, everyone. Good evening, Douglas. How are you? Top Head Niners.
Wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Here we go. It's season 3 of the Orkney Bowl. So, season 1, everyone was just finding their feet, getting their league sorted out, getting yourself into a division. Last year, you had the first chance to move up, move down, and many did go in both directions. But year 3 now, it's time to settle yourself in, isn't it? It's time to move forward. Because if you're not moving forward, you're moving back in this league, isn't it? And it's time to get up to Division 1 and have a shot at the title. What do you say?
Absolutely. We're stuck in Division 3. That needs to change. Well, you can stay in Division 3 if you want, but I fully intend going up a division. And so, that's what it's all about, getting to the top flight and winning.
And that's it. So it's, as I say, year 3 and well, week one is in the bag already. And I think if you're sitting and you've went in the draft, you've went wide receiver, you're in tears. And if you've went running back, the first 2 rounds, you're quite happy at the moment, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Every week one's a bit strange. It feels a bit surreal. It just kind of happens quite quickly in the end, and then you have that whole red zone's back. Let's sit for 7 hours and watch it, and it's all a bit of a blur. I personally haven't really taken in everything that's happened properly yet. I'll do that for the waivers tonight for all these divisions, but yeah, you spend all summer listening to various YouTubes and podcasts, and you draft in good faith, and then it all goes to absolute shit when teams go and do things that you didn't think they would do. So yeah, welcome back, NFL.
Welcome back, NFL. Yeah, I mean, and Jamar Chase, the number 1 pick in many drafts. What was it, 4 points or so? The Joe Burrow Chase stack was a very popular thing to go for this summer. You've lost if you stack those 2. You've lost week 1. AJ Brown. I mean, AJ Brown. What was it, 2 points or so? It's been a weird start.
Just got to be
patient.
What
you've got to. The biggest thing is, that's the thing though, you got to have your patience, trust in your draft, trust in the players that you've picked, trust in what you've looked at in the summer, because week 1 can be a funny one, and there's a long way to go. But yeah, if you drafted back, you're feeling quite confident at the moment. Because those middle receivers some of the middle receivers done very well,
They did, but it's not a big. It's a pretty thin waiver wire, I would have said. I don't think there's gonna be loads of guys sitting there. Must have. Everyone's by and large has been drafted, I think. So that's why everyone's going to have to be patient. I don't think there's a huge amount of players sitting on wires ready to be picked up.
Well, there's going to be a lot of George Kittle owners praying there's a tight end sitting there that can be picked up. What about this lad that caught the touchdown? Is he in the thoughts of any George Kittle teams?
Well, he's bound to be, but let's be clear, he was the 53rd man on the Niners roster. He had no right to be jumping up and catching that ball. But let's be clear, you know me, I've got to back my man Brock. Tonja's made that catch. He went and got the ball. So, he made the play. It's not like he's going to start next week. He'll still be behind Farrell, but he'll get some action. We don't have a glittering cast of receivers at the minute, so he'll get in and he'll get in the field and he'll see some action. And it's the New Orleans Saints, so yeah. But
of course, yeah.
No one had his prop. I would have thought because it came from nowhere. So yeah.
Is the season living and dying by CMC staying fit now?
Probably. I mean, listen. I think outside of quarterbacks on the offensive side of the ball, he's probably the most important player to any team in the NFL, and I just think that got highlighted on Sunday. I thought Sunday was a lot of deja vu like last season, apart from the fact that we actually won it. And as much as he wasn't superb, he still got 140 odd yards or whatever it was, all scrimmage. So that's still production. So He's a difference maker. If he stays fit, we'll do okay. But if he goes down, I think we've got a serious problem again. But that's the
Sorry, I
NFL.
was just bringing it up because I'm being quite chipper at the moment. We've got Micah Parsons and we've got off to a flyer against what's supposed to be a very good Detroit Lions team. So yeah, good things ahead. Whereas I can see you sweating it out. The whole Niners winning the Super Bowl at Levi for your 50th is looking
So
further forward.
at the minute, it's a pipe dream. I mean, even to be honest, even if we go and play well this regular season and get a good record and get into the playoffs, I think everyone's still going to be a bit like, oh yeah, but it was the schedule. Are they actually that good? It's the schedule. So until we actually get to the playoffs and B, face playoff opposition, I think there's just going to be a doubt there. But there's plenty of talent and experience on the roster. So who knows? Who knows?
But then the nightmare, Douglas, the nightmare of the Packers going and
Yeah,
winning the Super Bowl at
I am
Levi.
slightly concerned. I mean, I'm obviously slightly concerned. I thought your D was already reasonably good, and you've added Parsons, so that means that Love can get away with not being a superstar, and he's clearly got a ball in him. He's got an arm. If he's just harnessed and doesn't throw so many stupid Hollywood passes that get picked off, then yeah, you're right in there. You really are. So yeah, that would be a worry. But you know what? You've gone all in, so you've got the noose round your neck. If you don't do it, I'll have an even bigger laugh. So uh, shoot
Fair,
for the upside at the
very
minute.
fair, very
Anyway,
fair. Anyway,
right.
back to what we're here to discuss.
Yes.
Fantasy football, Orkney Bowl Year 3, and we're going to kick this off with the East Conference. So as you all know, it's two conferences, East and the West, and we'll kick it off down in Division 4. These are the also rans, the ones who are desperately trying to just climb up a little bit and get their Orkney Bowl career moving. So Division 4, and we had the Team Nairn Knights, who are the Tartan Bears in our home league. That's Joe. I beating the Plymouth Argyle Browns 108-155. The Portsmouth Pirates beating the Bedford Bruskies 207-190. The Preston Hawks, which we'll come back to in a minute, beating the Preston Mooney Tunes 178.18 against 180, so very close. The Chicago Scorpions beat the Laxdale Legends 229-185, and the Leith Vikings beat the Lee Vikings, sorry, not the Leith Vikings. I was thinking that was Grotty for a second. Beat the Edinburgh Thunderbirds 208-184. Now, the scoring seems very low in comparison to last year. This week, I thought, I think if you scored over 200 points and you lost, you shouldn't be heartbroken about it. It's a good result, you've just run into a bigger team, but there's a lot lower scoring this week, I would say, than was 280s, 90s, 300s were getting hit last year.
Totally agree. It took me a wee bit to just get back into the Orkney Bowl scoring, because it's slightly different to standard scoring, and that's when you remember, yeah, wait a minute, last year getting over 300 was a real big score, whereas this year, there's not, you kind of half the league's over 200 and half the league's under it, but it's getting above 250. There's bound to be some, but I don't think there'll be that many.
No, the scoring was low.
Yeah, but a win is a win is a win. It doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
It absolutely doesn't. But in week one, if you've scored kind of 190, 200 points and you've lost, you're going to win more than you'll lose with that. If this week's got anything to go by, so nothing to worry about. And of course, if everyone else's points start climbing, yours will too. It's a kind of overall thing, isn't it? But yeah, we had the Preston Hawks playing against the Preston Moonitunes in Division 4, so they're wanting on the climb. Now, this is Pez and his pal Ian, and I can only imagine how unbearable Pez has been right now, because we all know who Pez is, and we all know what he's like. So yeah, unlucky Ian. It's it would be like me losing to my biggest nemesis in the home league, the first week of the home league, for example, when the nemesis is defending. That might hurt a little bit more, but moving on.
No comment.
Yeah, so Pez has got to win here. Now, I'm sorry, but the funniest thing ever would be if there was a score correction in this game and it gave him the loss, because I'm sure Ian would double down in everything that he's received to now.
But I mean, I don't think that what's he needing? Is he needing 1.5 points? Probably unlikely,
like
but
that.
Pez will be worried about Ken Walker.
He will be.
Because 10 carries and 20 yards. I mean, it's the Niners defense, so it's no gimme. But Charbonnet just looked better, so yeah, that might be a slight concern. Otherwise, just seeing what actually tipped the tie in Pez's favour, who got it done.
K. Dotton getting 0 didn't help. And
Edgar
the
and Cooper, yeah. The D's made the IDPs made the difference there, hasn't it? By comfortably by distance. 2 reasonably solid scores, whereas Spillane for the Patriots, that's a pretty low score for him. You're going to feel slightly let down that he's only had 3 tackles in a kind of tight match against the Raiders.
Yeah, first game for the Patriots as well, so
Yeah.
it's but yeah, and it just goes to show you how important the defense is. It's the IDP is where the score corrections usually are, but it's usually a tackle or a half tackle instead of a tackle, something like that. It's never usually that.
He's left Fields and Keenan Allen on the bench as well.
Keenan Allen's he looks like he's going to be involved, very involved this year for that Chargers offense, and they seem to be still going to Herbert, regardless of the fact that it's you would think that they want to do a run game. I mean, Jim Harbaugh loves his run game.
There's I see Travis Hunter lurking on the bench there.
Great place for him week 1, I think, but I think it could be huge in this as it goes on. That's Pez that's got him there. I think he'll be huge as the season goes on, because I do think he'll play both sides of the ball. He got, what was it, 6 snaps or so on defense week 1? Was that?
Yeah, he did it. It's interesting because he's not he's not a shutdown corner, so that's quite good from a fantasy point of view, because they'll obviously try and target him to be a ball hawk. So he's going to be charging about after the ball when he does get snaps in the D. But don't get me wrong, Pez made the right decision week 1, but you're probably going to have to play him in one of the IDP slots to try and capitalize on him.
You can play him in a wide receiver slot as well, and he'll still get his. You can play him on a flex spot, and you'll still
absolutely.
get D points as well. So yeah, it's very much an option. It's a good option to have there, and it's, as I say, I think he's going to be huge in IDP leagues. I've got him in quite a few.
Yeah, you're a big fan. I've not got him anywhere at all. I'll just wait and watch.
Watch it, yeah. Well, that's. I've even taken him in a couple of redraft ones that we've got IDP, but I wasn't interested in him in a non-IDP league. I've got to say, I was staying well away. But what it is, Brian Thomas only got 1 catch on Sunday, and that's is that got the Thomas owners worried because he was an early pick this year?
Nah, these prime guys will all be fine over the season. They will be. They're not suddenly going to not be going to. It's week 1, shit happens, etc. I wouldn't be worried about him at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either, to be fair. I would be actually more worried that Trevor Lawrence, I'm not convinced on Trevor Lawrence would be my bigger worry for Brian Thomas rather over anything else.
No, but Lawrence, if Lawrence can't do it with the head coach he's got now and the weapons around him, well, it's game over, so to speak.
Well, yeah, he's got his contract, so he's. But yeah, absolutely agree. Kyle Pitts there on the bench as well. I mean, is he finally going to become a thing? Is he going to stop being the ridicule of fantasy football this year?
But
I think he might just.
he's bound to be a thing because Penix can throw the ball, and Atlanta will be in that situation plenty. So they're throwing it to London, they're throwing it to Pitts. Mooney, yes, but Mooney's injured. So yeah, the Pitts will definitely get his looks. His wingspan's enormous. You'd be daft not to.
London's out as well. London's out for at least 3 or 4
Yeah.
weeks, I believe.
Oh, is he? Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I think London's gone for. I'm pretty confident that I heard today that London's out for a few games. Did I hear today that Tank Bixby got a trade?
He's away at the
What
Eagles.
about Johnny? I
Yeah,
went
he's
the
away.
Eagles.
Yeah, he's gone to the Eagles for like a fifth and a sixth or something.
Was it? Yeah, that's. I mean, it's. I don't know that it's going to help him out much, right enough being
No,
behind
it's not.
Saquon, and especially.
I think Shipley's maybe got a little injury, nothing too serious. But if Saquon goes down, what's bound to happen now is that you've got Bigsby and Shipley sharing touches, so it probably
Yeah,
helps.
it's not good for Shipley.
Helps no
I've
one.
picked up Shipley in a few, so that's not good for that. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, if Barkley does go down, then it makes but it'll make him very relevant because it's a very run heavy team there. So yeah, so that was a good one for Pez week one, and Ian's praying for a price swap, a score change, but can't see that making any difference there. Well done, Pez. And yeah, so I mean that's we'll get Gary there winning. Their Gary's off to a good start, looking to move up as well, obviously. But yeah, I mean it's if you've won week one, then it's happy days, and if you've lost in week one, then it's nothing to worry about. I'd be more worried if you're kind of scoring under 150 points type thing. That's that would be more worrying than the actual loss. So we'll go into Division 3 now and see what's happening in there. So the one good thing about being in Division 4, Doug, you don't need to worry about being relegated.
Absolutely, only way is up.
The only way is up. So Division 3 do have to worry about getting relegated, and this is our division. So I'm in it, you're in it, Johnny's in it. And your neighbour Fraser is in it. There's like about maybe 100 people live in Bankfoot, and two of them are in the same division in the Orkney Bowl.
Yeah, spent yesterday with him at Perth Racecourse. He's not entirely happy at his start to the fantasy season either across the board. He's already out of a guillotine league at the first hurdle. So yeah, it's not been a good start for the lad. Didn't do very well at the races either, but that's another story.
Yeah, so Johnny's Orkney Bowls, they kicked off with a good 228 points, beating Hot Dogs, 199, nothing to be sneezed at. Newcastle Buccaneers, they got the win with 177 points over Kirkwall Chargers, only managing 151. You have the Bodham Bears, they've just over 200, and they beat the Glossop Fighting Gophers, 187. Decent score again. The Aberdeen Bucks by 204 beat the Preston Panthers 161. Then we've got the highest scorers of the week in the division by quite a long way, the Rotherham Raiders, and of course it was me who happened to run into them for 187 points, which isn't totally disastrous. And then of course the big derby game at the bottom, 189 points was enough to get over the over the hurdle with Fraser's Bankfoot Panthers getting 174.
My first impressions of our division is that it was actually pretty tight scoring. Couple of the two worst scoring teams, 151, 161, even Fraser 174. But yeah, everyone scored reasonably well. It's not going to be an easy division at all. But delighted to beat Fraser. He would like me to point out that he was only really one good IDP away from beating me, but he got that wrong. So he got cuffed.
Well, yeah, let's see the IDPs then. The quarterbacks went 50-50 too. They're 30 points apiece.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I mean, he played Ollie Gordon, which I mean, maybe he felt he had to, but that was a bit risky. So I'm not sure it was just really about the IDP. I think it was really about Ollie Gordon, but he didn't have many other options. Admittedly, I would say he's got a running back problem, but he can work that out in waivers. I could drafted Ken Walker as well, so I am concerned about him. But other than that, I'm pretty pleased with my team. You're saying Drake London's out, which is a problem for the next few weeks. But Jordan Mason, I thought, looked pretty good. Pearsall looked good. Tech McMillan looked fine. Brenton Strange at the Jaguars looked fine. Higgins will be fine. Gente got plenty of touches. He can do more with them, but he got plenty of touches. So yeah, I think I'm not too bad. I just need to work out what to do about Drake London. But Wan'Dale Robinson, Khalil Shakir, they did all right. They were on my bench, so yeah, we're all right.
Yeah, I mean that's Wan'Dale Robinson was one of the few bright lights for the Giants, I would say, on Sunday. I mean, he did look like he was if he can stay fit, he'll certainly be involved. And it's kind of that if everyone leaning towards Neighbours is going to help him out no end. He will get open. So yeah, I mean your bench is fine. You've got the cover there for London. Should he be out? Which I'm pretty sure I heard he was, but you can check that later on. But yeah, good one for you, Dougie. And yeah, it's Fraser's got work to do, as you say. I mean, mine. I went into this game 35% on 35% dog, and I was in it the whole way, and I couldn't understand how I was in it. I was hanging on in there right through Sunday. I was hanging on in there. I didn't until yeah, Johnny, go down further and you'll see the other reason too. If you go to his flex spots,
yeah, I mean, blinking egg.
It was that one too.
Jackson and Henry.
And I'm thinking, how am I still in this? How am I still in this? And of course, it's because Baltimore hadn't played yet. And as soon as they did, it was bye bye.
You got Mullard in the IDP slots as well.
I get beat up there.
Yeah, you got beat up by 18 points there. But I mean, when Jackson and Henry get 72 points between them, that's a problem.
It's a bit. But I mean, I'm a wee bit worried about my IDP spots. I do have a couple on the bench because I'm not comfortable with how I've drafted there. So I've got Williams and Watt both on the bench who's done okay, but I need these guys to start hitting a wee bit better because
Bolton's. I had Bolton in our first league. We had IDPs in about 4 years ago, and he did really well. But he's kind of since then he's been quite average. He's not gonna get you these big weeks. I don't think. He'll always get you a dozen to 18 points sort of idea. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you have to. I think with the IDPs, you have to shoot for the stars. You have to go for the big points. So yeah, I'm a wee bit worried there. But outside of that, I'm quite comfortable with what I've got. I'm delighted I've got a Booker. I think he's just going to get better as the season goes on. Jones will do fine, McBride will do better than that in weeks. Ridley should be fine the more Cam Ward gets into it. Smith, you've got to hope will be fine. Lamb done okay, despite the fact that nobody else did in the team. Yeah. And the other one is quarterback, obviously, but Lawrence should do okay. He's got the weapons.
He will. He's bound to be fantasy relevant. No, I think your team's all right. You just run into a scorer. And for Rotherham Raiders, they've now got Kettle on IR. So he's got Gesicki to back him up. But there's probably quite a bit of a reliance on Jackson and Henry there. But I mean, they're pretty good guys to have a reliance on.
As you're going to have to rely on a couple of folk. I mean, Tillman's there on the bench that will come in, but yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a great start and it's a fantastic score, but Kittle's a sore one, and he'll need to find something to replace him there because I don't think Gesicki's going to be the man to replace him. I don't know how relevant he's going to be this year.
Gesicki will have good weeks. He'll absolutely have good weeks, but Fant
Right.
is going to cut into that. And I think Fant got a touchdown at the weekend, didn't he? Pretty
He
sure I
did, yeah,
saw.
Fant got a
Yeah.
touchdown.
So, if he's kind of hoovering up, 2 or 3, 4 touchdowns away from Gesicki, then yeah, that's a bit more difficult, admittedly. Minor details.
Yeah, no, it's a great start for Rotherham Raiders. As I say, I'm not overly worried. I'm quite comfortable with my team, as I'm sure most of the teams who lost are. At the end of the day, there was Kittle. There wasn't any other big massive injuries, was there really? So it's kind of a case of maybe London. I think London is out.
It's just all the 49ers, but I'm not bringing it up.
It's just like 49. That's what it is. But yeah, so it's certainly. It's a good start, Johnny. Let's have a wee look at what you've done. Then let's see your team. I've not even had a look at it yet. I've got to say. I mean, Baker had a terrible game, and he still scored 31 points. 3 touchdowns and etc.
Yeah,
It wasn't a great game.
no, it wasn't, but he'll be fine because he's going
Oh
to
yeah,
throw the ball,
he's
etc. It's boils.
target.
Johnny's needing CMC to stay in the park, and if CMC stays in the park, Johnny's going to be competitive every week.
Where's CMC?
He's down in his
There he is. Yeah,
down.
yes, couldn't agree more.
So yeah, I mean, the bench is maybe slightly thin.
I mean, I think Drayton's got a massive boost this week with Bigsby moving on. That obviously means they're comfortable with Tooting and Etienne going. So that's
It
got to
looks
be
like
good news
Travis
for him.
Etienne's getting the majority of the work, and Tooting will obviously spell him to start with and see what happens after that. But Etienne is a guy who starts the season well, and I think can fade away a little bit too. And just let's see where they're at in the depths of winter. I suspect Tooting might be leading that backfield by then.
And that's that would be massive for him. It's another running back to add to the equation. So yeah, it's a really good start, Johnny, and a decent team there. So you should be looking for promotion this year, I would imagine. So yeah, that's Division 3. Obviously, again, it's week 1. There's no point looking at tables. If you won, you're at the top, and if you lost, you're at the bottom. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
So Division 2 now. So these are the guys that are just one step away from the top division, and we'll get the Darlington Rams starting with 232 points, beating the Warner Bay Goonies 148. The Yorkshire Finns with 223, beating the New Marsden Mashers 186. The New Mexico Chipabras 205, beating the Arcadia Red Wolves 166. The Sorens Fifers beat the EK Colts 184, 175, quite a tight one. And then the Orton Warriors 174 to the Leeds Leopards 157. Solihull Sharks get 220 to the Ancoats Citizens 202. So again, it's the scores aren't knocking it out of the park. The 240 that I ran into this week has been the biggest score so far in 3 divisions. So it is saying a lot about the level of the scoring this week, I would say.
Absolutely. Haldane got fortunate there a wee bit, winning with 184 points. Jamie Dunfermline for you.
Yeah. Oh, he's changed his name. Yeah, of course, so it is. Yeah, so he came up from our division last year as well. So, this is his first foray in.
Do you know what though? See, when you look, that every team we've looked at so far, it's only week 1, so maybe they do all look okay, but they all look okay. Like we're not looking at any teams where you're like, oh my god, what a terrible draft they've had. From it.
Yeah, I mean it's absolutely as you say, it's week 1, but every team does look like it's got strengths. and it's all about getting the right guys on at the right time, isn't it? And it's so Haldane, it's a great start, and his team looks sound there. Although he does have that Walker and London,
Walker
I
as
share the
well.
same as you do.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Good point. And then you've got at the bottom there, that was a team that, Ancoats Citizens. Look, it's a bit of a sore one, scoring over 200 this week and losing.
There's not
Josh
many teams
Allen.
have done that this week so far.
It's Josh Allen. I mean, they're practically your difference in one go.
Absolutely. And and that's with Barkley having a kind of 24-point off week. That's Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley. If Barkley stays fit, that can be a winning combination in itself, right there. Debo as well. Debo looks like he's going to be heavily involved in Washington, which is pleasing me no end. But
Yeah, I bet
he's got to
it
capital.
does.
What's the script with Jennings? Is he hurt, or is it just an out? He'll be back next week.
No, well, he basically he wasn't able to lift his arm above his shoulder, so he done something to his shoulder, but they're still
Right.
waiting. They've not really announced anything yet. I'm going to say they signed Kendrick Bourne yesterday to put him in $1 million deal. So I suspect Jennings is going to miss a week, 2 weeks, that sort of idea as well. Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall's going to be triple manned, I think, over the next week or two, because that's the kind of best laid plans. But it's going to be Pearsall and McCaffrey. Jennings hasn't had a proper off season either, so
no, he hasn't.
So there's
that's a problem there. That's a problem for team on the left here. I can't remember what one it was now, but it's Kittle and Jennings. If you're losing them for a couple of weeks, there's you got to replace both type thing. So it's you lose one player in week one, you can just about get over it and get away with it, I think. But if you're losing two or three players, it's trouble. I mean, if there's a team that's sitting there with kind of Kittle and Worthy, for example, they're in a bit of doo-doo, because that's Worthy on IR as well. I believe he's got to get.
Yeah, but at least if they're on IR, you can get them stuck away on there and go and at least try and get something out the waivers.
That's exactly, and that's. I mean, although the waivers are pretty. As you say, there's not going to be much. There's not much depth in it, but there'll be guys there that will score points. So it's all about getting the right one. Just
kind of what you're looking at. I mean, I'm only going by our league. They'll obviously all be slightly different, but our league, Hollywood's there, Keishon Boutte.
Hollywood could be massive this going forward now, I would say.
Yeah, so there's a couple of options on waivers.
There's Austin on there. Austin's there as well.
Yeah, so
this one.
I mean, the Steelers aren't going to score those level of points. Trey Tucker.
Trey Tucker's there, yeah. There's Horton there for the Seahawks if he can get going. I mean, it was never going to be easy. Tesla, I mean, what a catch he had. What a catch Tesla had. Did you see it?
Oh, absolutely. Torrey Horton, right? Have you got him in about, 10 teams? Is he your most drafted player?
He's certainly my most drafted player in Dynasty, but I've picked him up in a couple of leagues recently. But he's going to get touches, I think, as it goes on. There's Tyquan Thornton as well there, in for the Chiefs. So there's definitely options there. Some of these guys are going to go. Dotson for the Eagles. He's the one that caught all the balls on at the weekend there. So there are definitely options there. Are you in love with any of them? Absolutely not. But is there going to be scorers there? Of course. So get the right one and march on after a good start as well. Start.
I think there's more receivers to be had in the waivers than there are running backs anyway. I think the running back waivers are going to be pretty damn thin.
I mean, Gainwell got his touches, and didn't do anything with them. You know, I think what he had 6 carries for under 20 yards and a couple of catches for less than 10. So yeah, he got his chance and he
Nothing.
didn't really do it. So that's kind of,
Yeah.
if that's the best that you're getting, 7 attempts for 19 yards and what was it? How many
And he,
receiving?
and he fumbled it. But someone's going to have to run the ball other than Jalen Warren in Pittsburgh. I guess eventually Caleb will get more chances, but Rodgers ain't going to entertain that too readily. I wouldn't have
Caleb
thought.
was.
Kendry Miller, no. I've got bad experiences with him. I just cannot have him.
I think McGonagall down in Chicago. I mean, he'll end up being a number 2 there, you know, and he's a kind of Swift not being very good from the promotion. How did he actually do on Monday night? I'm not even sure how he done last night.
How did Swift do? Because I'm invested in him, as you know. He was inefficient.
Yeah,
So
not exact, not much. Not much,
to be fair,
but one catch for 11 yards. But
no,
I think as the season goes on, he's going to be, he'll get more and more touches because I just don't know that Johnson's that decent, even though I'm in on him. I mean, Sanders,
no.
that would hurt me to have to draft Miles Sanders. You know, I think I've got him in one dynasty, but it would hurt me to have to go and pick him up. I've got to say, but I mean, he's an option, isn't he?
Moody Marks, no, he did nothing. I mean, there's not DJ Giddens. If Taylor, I mean, Taylor Taylor played every snap in the first half. So, and they were that far ahead. They sensibly just took him out. But that's the only reason he got dropped.
Giddens done okay. He done okay when he came in, you know, and it's he will get touches because of that, you know, and he'll get touches. And if Taylor goes down, then he's going to be a bell cow. He's certainly in the, you know, and show me the money. I've got him on my bench because I've got Taylor as my keeper, so I've put him on my bench.
I would handcuff Taylor with him all day long if I had him for sure.
Yeah, so Juwan Johnson, he got a lot of touches this week.
I like him. He was basically going undrafted loads of times. So I started picking him up in some of the later drafts because someone's got to catch the ball there.
Yeah, I couldn't. It's I think he'll do okay. He'll do just fine. You know, you've got Frymouth got his touches there as well, despite the fact Jono Smith's in. So he could be an option as well at tight end. You know, I mean,
Meyer, yeah,
he got
Bowers,
touches because Bowers went down. Bowers is fine. He says he was going to come back in, but they held him out.
Oh, right, okay.
So I think Bowers is fine. But I mean, I think Meyer is a very good tight end. It's just that he's not going to get any touches with Bowers kicking about. So, but there are options there at tight end as well to replace Kittle. So it's no disaster if you've got them. There are some options there. I mean, I think I'll be fishing for some IDPs this week and see what's what in IDP. But yeah, there are injured players to be replaced, but there's players there to do so. So that's Division 2, and now into the big one, the top division, where we have the Manchester Bees, the defending champions of the East. They sadly lost in the Orkney Bowl final last year, but they were the best of the East, and they've started with a big win against Godalming Goats, 222 points, so making their statement in week 1. Glasgow Eagles, 240 points. There's a bigger score. Not quite as big as the one I ran into, but there we go. Against the Seattle Patriots, 129. That reeks of Kittle and Worthy. So that does. Whitworth Rockstars beat Sean's team, 175 to 193. And then the Dublin Everton Blues started with a 205-point win over the Leeds Lassos, 172. And Stoke-on Bengals, they got a win with just 167 points against the Harlow Harlequins, 164, so very tight. And finally, the Leicester Tigers, 205, beat the Carlton Crew, 190. So yeah, there's been a couple of low-scoring winners here. Stoke and Bengals getting a nice cheeky one.
Tight game, and you win with 167. Happy days. I mean, that's your wins that really do take you to championships because you'll have your weeks where you do score well. So if you're picking up a win with 167, happy days, so long as you're not harbouring any big injury problem. Oh, look at that. Chris Godwin left in the team. Still one.
That's Godwin left in the team. Yeah, that's that's not going to help you much at all. That's not. But yeah, I mean, it's a great win, and you know, St Brown was there. I seen St Brown there. Neighbours was there. Obviously, better weeks ahead. And
Okay.
there's Jude Johnson on the bench. As long as as long as Herbert's throwing the ball like that, they'll keep throwing it, and if they keep throwing it, he'll have his weeks, you know.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, that's a huge one. That is a huge one. That one, go up a little bit for us, Johnny.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Sean versus Jackson.
Yeah, it's Jackson as well. So good win for Jackson, 193 points. But where's Sean gone wrong? I mean, Gibbs.
He's gone,
Do
he's
you know
gone
that
heavy at the Packers.
it's the
Disgusting.
least amount of yards. It's the least amount of yards a player has had with double-digit catches in the history of the NFL. 10 catches, 31 yards.
Look at his,
Nailed.
I mean, look at his rushes. He only had 19 yards for 9 carries.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's
19,
brutal.
19
Still
touches
scored though. He still got points.
and he scored, yeah. But I mean, Evans is, you know, not a great week. Smith, not a great week. Where are you with Kelsey now? I mean, they were struggling. They needed
Well,
it in the 4
no,
catches.
look, Kelsey will be fine. I mean, they've obviously Worthy's gone down. Rice is still suspended, so he's going to get his catches. He's obviously he's still a red zone. He's still a touchdown magnet. Kelsey will be fine as long as he stays healthy. And
I'm
he
not as
generally
confident.
does. So I know, but you've been like that. You've been like that for a while, for a little while, Kelsey. Hopefully, maybe the engagement will. I mean, Taylor will get pregnant next. Maybe that's when it'll all go to shit for him. Sean's still got
No,
nothing to
it's
worry about. He's got plenty on his bench as well. That's a deep. Sean's got a deep roster there. I mean, he usually does.
Yeah, he has.
Draft well. He's not.
Very deep.
You know, he's frustratingly good at all this.
Jackson's 2 defenders, both over 20 points there on the bench as well. So he's got IDP, IDP strength there, and he's got Samson on the bench. Do you think? I mean, Judkins is going to be playing pretty much this week, isn't he? But how long is he going to take to break in? I mean, Samson looked good.
Samson looked fine. Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, I mean, they drafted them both for a reason. They'll use them both. Good. The problem is they're not a great team. Good teams can have 2 serviceable backs. Minnesota, Mason and Jones both scored okay. Detroit have done it. So, you know, the right teams can do it.
They're not the right teams.
Unless you're a superstar running back, in some respects, you don't want your back to be pounded because you just will end up getting injured.
Yeah,
so, you know, you want them there for the whole season.
I do agree. I do like having a reliable cover for my main backs because the less touches they get, the more chance they've got. So Dublin Everton Blues were the champions season 1, looking to get back to that final and off to a good start with 200 points, but they've got that Walker problem as well. Hampton's going to be absolutely fine, isn't he? I think he's going to the second half of the season he'll explode. I think. What do you think?
The only problem for Hampton, it's not a huge problem, is that Greg Roman's offences don't tend to throw the ball to running backs very often, so he'll need to be reliant on actually running the ball. But they'll run it loads.
He's the Worthy problem. This is Dublin Everton Blues got that Worthy problem. You know, he's. I think he's going to be out for a while. So and it was Travis Kelce who done it. Let's not forget. But Brock Bibbles is going to be fine. You know, there's Derrick Henry sitting there. So yeah, I mean, this is a team of strength as well. What about Njoku? Where are you with Njoku? Because it was Fannin that had all the touches.
I like Njoku, always have done. I usually draft him. I have done again, but Mr. Fannin obviously had a field day, and he was the most. Is he not the most productive tight end in college football history? Yeah, like
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
all the stuff was there on him, and you look, and no one really was drafting him. Well, some people were obviously, but he wasn't going early. And oh, that might not translate to the NFL, etc., etc. And then bang, game one, yeah, translates. There's
Was
a,
this,
and it's not a coincidence that he's
it was
gone
a
and got
small
all.
school as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, totally. But it looks like it translates. So if he keeps getting as open as he did at college, and he did in week one, then oof, uh, there's a guy to have, and
Well, that's,
he is available on our waiver wire, Craig.
was it?
Yeah, so line up your money.
Line up your money, yeah. I mean, I do agree. I do think he looked very, very good, and I was a naysayer in the drafts and stuff. So I really don't have him many places, if I have him anywhere at all. Uh, and certainly it would only be in Dynasty. So yeah, anyone who's got him must be quite happy about that. Tyreek Hill, he looked. He's not Tyreek. He's not the same Tyreek Hill anymore,
Aye,
is
but
it?
is he not? Am I not right in saying Tyreek Hill's got a wee problem with domestic violence accusations or something?
Or is it Tyreek Hill? I heard them talking about it on Pro Football Talk, but I missed who it was. I actually thought it was two they were talking about at the time. So is it Tyreek? That makes more sense to me, actually.
Yeah,
That's not good to hear talking a lot of
he's
places.
his estranged wife has accused him of assaulting her during their marriage.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
that's not good news. So
wouldn't
yeah,
shock
I mean
me.
it's no, it's not shocking in any way whatsoever, but it's certainly not good for the future of Tyreek Hill, and even this season, if it's that serious,
The
it'll be the punishment might
Dolphins
come quickly.
the Dolphins look horrific. I mean, I don't know who's favourite for the first coach to lose their job, but McDaniels is probably bound to
Oh,
be McDaniels that's the favourite.
absolutely 100%. It's McDaniel's, but they looked awful, didn't they?
But
I mean, it's a worry for me with H in quite a few places, but I think he's the one that could still, come out of it okay type thing. But yeah, the Dolphins don't look good, and they've got the Patriots this week, so I mean, it's already a huge game for them, isn't it?
yeah, totally. If they look rubbish against the Patriots, they're yes problem. Oh, there's a Fark. That's a that's a Graham. Graham's got a right good score there, 240.
Yeah, but all the second highest score of the Eastern Conference this week. So good going in the week that it was, in that sense. But yeah, I mean that's with Irving and Kamara running back. I mean, I thought they
Poor
both did okay.
stuff.
Well, I certainly thought Kamara done better than 17 points. That's for sure. But there we have it.
Ridley was
Puka,
quiet.
he's just made a stone, isn't he?
Yeah, no, totally. He is. Ridley was quiet. Laporta did pretty well, but with the Orkney Bowl tight end scoring, it does like his line there, 6 receptions, 79 yards, but no touchdowns, whatever else. But because he got the first downs, and you get double bubble for first downs as a tight end, he ends up with 21 points on a reasonably average line.
I mean,
So that's
79 yards for the tight ends. That must be top five for yardage for tight ends in the week, I would imagine,
it,
So it's
it probably is, but no touchdowns. Uh,
no.
but yeah, so over 21 points, that's not to be sniffed at. I'm just
Yeah.
going to look
More
at.
points in the Tucker Craft who got his touchdown, But
Oh,
look at the
actually,
IDPs there. The IDPs have knocked it out. Baker and looking, they've absolutely crushed it.
yeah, Olokin got that interception, didn't he?
Oh, so he did, yeah, that's right.
No, you were right about Laporte. It was actually second most yards behind Bowers,
There you
receiving
go.
yards.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be. I mean, I mean, there's the thing as well, right? There's the comparison. Laporta were kind of poo-hooing, 79 yards, no touchdowns or anything.
Yeah.
But Trey McBride had about 60 yards, no touchdowns, but people seem to, but he played okay. But Laporta did
Yeah,
okay for the position, not 21 points, okay, but he done fine for the position, and I think there'll be better weeks ahead because it's none of the Lions offensive players came out with flying colours at all.
nah, well, that's it. They're obviously not in Green Bay every week, which I'm
Yeah,
sure they'll be delighted about.
yeah, that's a good start for Graham, and it would be nice to see a homegrown Orkney Bowl champion, so it would. And here's
Absolutely.
no, we've not looked at the defending Eastern Conference champions, the Manchester Bees. It looks like they're off to a good start, and it's only Aston Gentry there. He's only going to get better, isn't he? And he's already getting the touches, so that's going to look better in a few weeks' time, I would imagine.
Yeah, solid. He's gone with Travis Hunter in the wide receiver slot.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense at this point. That if you're putting them in for say Williams or McMillan or any of these guys who are were high up picked wide receivers, you've got a better chance of getting that off an IDP. So I get putting them in the wide receiver slot.
Yeah, he's got away with Caleb Johnson as well, so that's a big score to basically have a running back sitting on minus points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Jade looked okay as well. That was it's a good bounce back for him.
yeah, no, that's well solid. Zaire Franklin normally right up there on the IDPs, but he had a quiet week. But that's when they pumped Miami, so it's not like they were up against it. And the bench, no, yeah, Justin Fields was in the losing team on the bench, but then Caleb Williams was there. There's not a lot of difference between them scoring wise. I'm not sure about Caleb yet at all. He's not throwing the ball downfield enough.
I'm
He's
not
scared.
convinced at all. I don't think he's all that. I've got to say, I'm hanging my hat on it right now. I just don't think he's. I think they would have been better sticking with Justin Fields than switching to Caleb Williams. But there you go. And I also don't think he wants to be there. I think he wants out.
Yeah, I think you may be right. He never wanted to be there in the first place, but you've got. I think in the NFL now, you've got to have a quarterback that's willing to put the ball down the field a little bit. I know that we've got quarterbacks at our teams that do that, and they do get picked off now and again. But equally, they do find their teammates as well. And if Caleb's struggling to throw it beyond 10, 12 yards, that's defensive. That's almost like he's wanting to pad his stats and have a decent completion percentage and me rather than team because they've got the guys, they've got the weapons. So
They do.
and Ben Johnson's never been scared for his quarterback to push it out there a bit. Jared Goff would do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think Burden had minus points as well this week, didn't he? I think he got one. He got like minus 3 yards or something like that. So
He's
yeah,
a
it's
he's a bit more of a project, I think, and unless we see some decent early season usage, I think he'll maybe, and they can afford to take their time with him as well because they've got Moore and they've got Odunze and they've got Loveland, so you don't need all of them immediately.
but they're off to Detroit. It's Detroit this weekend for them, so it's not going to get any easier for them. As I say, I've not got many pieces of the Bears' offense at all, and I've got to say I'm quite happy about that this year. And I'll be out as long as until Caleb Williams can prove to be otherwise. That he's worth it. So yeah, that's us. That's the Eastern Conference for week one. Douglas, it's if you've won, you're happy. If you've lost, on to next week. But it's only week one. Long way to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's next week. It's big week again. Who's the 49ers playing? We've got Commanders on Thursday night, so that's
Well, do
that's a
you?
late
Oh,
week
you've
for
got a
me.
short
But
week. I take it it's in Green Bay.
it's in Green Bay. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm saying I take it, but no, you were at home, obviously, your first game. Are
Yeah,
you
no,
sure?
that happens quite a lot though. You go home, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
So
no.
we've got the Thursday night game.
Okay. Oh, well, that's yeah. We've got the Saints. We're at New Orleans. It, we should beat them clearly. It's the New Orleans Saints, but we legitimately might have Mac Jones throwing the ball to Kendrick Bourne and Jake Tonjes. So the one thing I will say is the first kind of quarter of the match, I thought, oh God, they're targeting Upton Stout, they're targeting Siegel, the Seattle are sensibly going after the rookies. The D is going to get better as the season goes on, but second half, the D was really good.
Yeah.
So hopefully they've injected a wee bit of kind of youthful enthusiasm into the D, and it might just die. Nicky Bosa, I tell you, Nicky Bosa is looking. I mean, the guy's a specimen, obviously. I think he has seen the money that Parsons is getting, and he's thinking to himself because
I want a piece of that.
he's he's due another renewal soon enough because his cap hit goes up quite quickly, so that's when they need the renewal. And Bosa's probably thinking, yeah, I need to show this league and remind this league of that I'm quite a decent player. So long may that continue as well. But yeah, no, we should beat the Saints even if we go in there with Mac Jones at quarterback.
Yes, you should. If you've got
I,
any idea of the playoff, you need to be beating the
no,
New Orleans
totally. I
Saints.
think we're going to need 10 wins to get to the playoffs, I think, in the East. Definitely, you'd be fine with 11. So it's just a case of ticking them off. We're one down, and just tick them off, work our way through, get better as the season goes on. Hopefully, have the right guys on the field come the playoff time. I'm not, I'm genuine. I know we joke about it. I'm genuinely not bothered at the minute by the injuries. It's too early to be giving a monkeys about that.
Absolutely. And it's the same in fantasy as well. It's the same in the Orkney Bowl. It's early doors. There's no time to panic or get yourself up in a twist. It's one game. You need, I would say, 8 to get to the playoffs, and eight to guarantee it certainly. So one down, 7 to go, and that's how to look at a win. And if you've not got the win, then I've still got 8 to go,
Absolutely.
but plenty of time.
And you've got Fraser next week in Orkney Bowl. So one of you's going 0-2. So I'm going to be quite happy either way.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, that's us for the East. We have the West coverage. I believe Martin's joining me on Thursday night for the West coverage. Thank you everyone for watching, and I shall see you on Thursday. Douglas, I shall see you very soon.
Cheers, Greg.